And there he is, Pope Leo, the new leader of the Catholic faith, greeting the assembled on St. Peter's Square. Officially Leo XIV, the name he has taken. Can any of us imagine what it is like to stand in that place right now and looking out on that crowd? The leader of 1.4 billion Catholics.
He looks amazingly relaxed, don't you, Andrew?
Yeah, I think exactly what I was thinking, and he seems comfortable in the role, which means he's probably been thinking about it over the last 24 hours as the votes mounted up.
This is, I look at this and think, last night when we talked about who the names were, he was the last on our list because he was a long shot, because he was an American. And I'm fascinated to know what happened in that conclave, how he rose to the top.
Let me bring in Christopher White now, and NBC News Vatican analyst. Christopher, what can you tell us about Pope Leo XIV?
Well, he's an American, and that in itself is something that is shocking many people who never thought this would, be possible. The general thinking has long been that America has too much power in the world and should never have the papacy. But I think someone like Prevost, who has spent a third of his life in Peru and a third in Italy, isn't typically thought of as an American by his brother cardinals. They think of him as someone who knows the Vatican, he knows the world. And I think that's probably what gave him a lot of support in this conclave, because he's spent so much time outside of the United States and around the world. He's someone I know personally. He's someone who's deeply thoughtful, asks intelligent questions, but I think very much, comfortable in who he is. And I think he's a real intellect, but he...
La pace sia con tutti voi.
Peace to everyone.
Fratelli, sorelle carissimi, questo è il primo saluto del Cristo risorto, il buon pastore che ha dato la vita per il gregge di Dio. Anch'io vorrei che questo saluto di pace entrasse nel vostro cuore, raggiungesse le vostre famiglie, a tutte le persone, ovunque siano, a tutti i popoli, a tutta la terra. La pace sia con voi. Questa è la pace di Cristo risorto, una pace disarmata e una pace disarmante, umile e perseverante. Proviene da Dio, Dio che ci ama a tutti incondizionalmente. Ancora conserviamo nei nostri orecchi quella voce debole ma sempre coraggiosa di Papa Francesco che benediva Roma.
ears hearing his voice.
Il Papa che benediva
The
Roma
Pope who was blessing
dava la
Rome,
sua benedizione al mondo,
giving
al
his
mondo
blessing
intero,
to the world
quella mattina del giorno di Pasqua.
on that morning, on that day of Easter Sunday.
Consentitemi di dar seguito a quella stessa benedizione.
Allow me to continue
Dio
that
ci
same
vuole
blessing.
bene. Dio vi ama tutti.
God loves
E
everyone.
il male non prevarrà.
Evil will not
Siamo
prevail.
tutti nelle mani
We
di
are all
Dio.
in the hands of God.
Pertanto, senza paura,
So without fear,
uniti,
united,
mano nella mano con Dio
hand in
e
hand,
tra di noi,
with God and among ourselves,
andiamo avanti.
we go forward.
Siamo discepoli di Cristo.
We are disciples of Christ.
Cristo ci precede.
Christ goes before us.
Il mondo ha bisogno della sua luce.
The world needs his light.
L'umanità necessita di Lui come
Humanity
il ponte
needs
per
him.
essere raggiunta da Dio e dal suo amore.
But as the bridge between God and his love,
Aiutateci anche voi, poi gli uni gli altri, a costruire i ponti.
may we all
Con il
build
dialogo,
bridges
con l'incontro,
with dialogue and encounter,
uniendoci tutti per essere un solo
so that we can
popolo,
all be
sempre in pace.
one people, all in peace.
Grazie a Papa Francesco.
Thank you, Pope Francis, for all you've done. We're hearing the first words here of Pope Leo XIV, just elected Pope.
Voglio ringraziare anche tutti i confratelli cardinali
I'd like to also
che
thank my
hanno
brother cardinals
scelto me
who chose
per essere
me to
successore di
be the
Pietro,
successor of
di
Peter
camminare insieme a voi
and to
come Chiesa
walk along
unita,
with you,
cercando sempre la pace, la giustizia,
searching all together for
cercando
peace and
sempre
justice,
lavorare come uomini
and working
e donne
together,
fedeli a Gesù Cristo,
men and women faithful
senza
to Christ,
paura,
without fear,
per proclamare
to
il Vangelo,
proclaim the
per
gospel,
essere missionari.
to be missionaries. Pope Leo offering these initial words, which we're just translating on the fly here.
Un figlio di Sant'Agostino,
I'm a son of St. Augustine, and I'm an Augustinian
che ha detto: con voi sono cristiano
We said,
e per voi vescovo.
with you I am a Christian, and for you I am a bishop.
Tutti camminare
So
insieme
may we all
verso quella
walk
patria
together towards that,
la quale Dio ci ha preparato.
to the place that God has prepared for us. May we walk together, accompany each other. To the Church
Di Roma,
of Rome,
un saluto speciale.
a special greeting. As Bishop of Rome, of course, a special greeting.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or follow us on social media.